Have you ever noticed there are two Rumpelstiltskins in Shrek and no one talks about it? One helps King Midas turn straw into gold. The other leads an army of witches with a giant goose named Fifi. But here's the twist. Only one of them is real, and the other, a total fraud who built his empire on stolen magic. The key starts with a small detail in Shrek 4. King Midas recommended Rumpel to Lillian and Harold, Fiona's parents, during the events of the first movie. This ties directly to the classic Rumpelstiltskin tale, where a goblin spins straw into gold for a farmer's daughter in exchange for her firstborn child, losing his power if she guesses his name. King Midas, famous for his golden touch, fits perfectly here. His fortune didn't come from a gift, but from a deal with the real Rumpel, who turned straw into gold for Midas's wife. When Midas discovered his name, he escaped the trade, creating the myth of his golden touch. Now, in Shrek 3, Rumpel appears among the villains during Charming's speech, but he doesn't show any hate toward Shrek or ties with the witches, who act alone. Yet in Shrek 4, Rumpel is filled with rage toward Shrek and leads the witches, who worship him as their master. The biggest clue, though, is Fifi, his magical goose. Unlike the fairy godmother's geese, Fifi changes size and is the source of Rumpel's power. Every one of his contracts requires a signature made with one of Fifi's feathers, not his own magic. Digging deeper, at the beginning of Shrek 4, Rumpel narrates Shrek's story from the first to the third film, showing villains like Hook, a witch, Cyclops, and the Shrek 3 version of Rumpel, all with happy endings. But the Shrek 4 Rumpel is nowhere in that story, meaning he didn't live those events. The truth, the Rumpelstiltskin from Shrek 4 is a fraud. In the original tale, Rumpel never made anyone sign contracts. His magic came from himself. Since Charming mentioned Rumpel in the third movie, that version is the real one, because he did ask for a firstborn child. Meanwhile, the Rumpel from the fourth movie always needed a signature, and specifically one written with Fifi's feather. Without any magic of his own, he used Fifi's feathers to forge contracts, stealing the real Rumpelstiltskin's name to gain power and lead the witches, revealing that Fifi is the true source of magic. And remember, Rumpelstiltskin's name is his power, his identity, but the fake Rumpel never cared to hide his, which Donkey even points out in the alternate reality. Before, you could break a deal by guessing his name, but now it doesn't work. That confirms it. The Shrek 4 Rumpelstiltskin is a complete imposter. His indifference to keeping his name secret not only exposes his deception, but shows how he twisted a legacy of power into an empire of lies.